question is, how can we translate Gita, the philosophy of Krishna, into augmenting business in India?
I have not read the Gita, so I really have not. I'm sorry, because for me, my own vision has never failed me. So I always kept away from all scriptures because I didn't want to clutter myself with something or the other. The only thing that I learned and I continue to do is, if I look at something, if I look at a person, I know their past, present and future. That is the level of attention I'm paying to them. I don't look at like this. When I look at it completely, with all that I have. If you pay enough attention, there is nothing that will not yield. So I never had any reason or need to go looking for scriptures or something. With all respect and regard for them, it is not that I'm averse to it, it's just that I've not had the time. How this whole process started is, when I was very young, I realized that I just don't know anything. See, if you realize that you do not know, if it's a full-scale realization that you do not know anything, paying attention will be natural, because you know everything. You know this guy, you know this. There are assumptions and assumptions and assumptions. Well, I've used it in a different way, but even if you're doing business, even if it's for business purposes, the only reason why one human being seems to be… all the opportunities seems to be going in his direction and not other people is simply because he is able to see and other people are not able to see. It's not that it's not there for others. One is able to see and others are not able to see. So essentially, a leader means that you're able to see something that others are not able to see. So, attention without intention, simply being attentive, that's what we were trying to do in the afternoon. Not paying attention to something, just practicing attention, a very heightened level of attention where an unfocused attention, but when you focus it on something, just about anything has to yield, there is no other way to that attention. So, I always focused on enhancing and sharpening my attention, never on retention, because what you gather is not you. Essentially, you know that you exist only because you have some sense of attention right now, isn't it? Suppose you fall asleep and you lose your attention, you do not even know that you exist. So the basis of your existence itself is attention. And this attention need not be mortgaged to anything. You just have to sharpen the attention. See, if you have a knife in your hands, there is no such thing that you have to cut only apples with this. If you have a sharp enough knife, you could cut anything that you want. But the important thing is the knife is sharp enough, so that your attention is keen enough, not for something or the other. If your attention has become very keen, if you wish to do a certain type of activity, you can successfully do it.
The most important thing, the most important aspect of my life is, I never identified anything as small or big. Even today, I pay the same level of attention to everything. I have no anything small or big. I have to kind of encapsulate that, I can say this. You know, my daughter has been traveling with me since she was 3.5 months of age.
Wow.
So that was the time when I was driving across India, building the foundation at that time. So every day we're in a different home. One big problem in the world is every adult want to teach. When they see a child, they want to teach. They want to teach them something that's not worked in their life.
Okay, interesting. Please give me an example of that.
It's obvious it's not worked because between most adults and their children, if you look at it, who is more joyful? The child is more joyful. So who should be a consultant for life? It should be the child. It's just that adults, the only qualification that they have is, they came here a few years ahead of the child. They might have learnt a few survival tricks. Beyond that, they know nothing about life that the child doesn't know. So I made one rule, nobody teaches her anything. Nobody teach her ABC, 1, 2, 3, Mary had a little lamb, because I don't care whether Mary had a lamb or not.
Brilliant.
So, nobody taught her anything. Because nobody taught her anything, she was all ears. By the time she was 18 months, she was speaking 3 languages fluently. And many other things like that, because no overload of trying to teach her anything. She simply picked up whatever she can. So when she was 12, 13 years of age, she came back from school one day and she was disturbed about what happened there. Then she said, you're teaching everybody so many things, you're not teaching me anything. I said, well, I'm not known to teach anything unsolicited. Here you are. And I said, see, this is all you need to know. Never look up to anything. She looked at me like this, with a question mark on her face, whether, what about you kind of thing. I said, not even me. Never look up to anybody, never look down on anybody, and this is all. If you don't look up to anything, if you don't look down on anything, you will pay attention to everything. If you pay attention to everything and see everything just the way it is, without prejudice of what is big and what is small, what is good and what's bad, what is virtue and what is sin, simply look at everything as it is, you will effortlessly navigate your way through life. So, I'm not paying attention to small or big, I'm just paying attention to whatever there is.